Welcome back, guys. We're going to be trying something new on the channel. We're going to try and do Tackle Talk Tuesdays, so talk about tackle every Tuesday. So let me know what you think about this. Massive shout out to Barra Blue, Chase Baits, Raptor Lures NT, and let's get into this. So we're going to be running through the gear. Start off with SLX DC. Got 35 braid on here, 35. 60 litre on it, 60 pound litre, and just a fizzer on it at the moment. One of my favourite things to run in the creeks and on the coast. Dial PT 150, 30 pound suffix. There's stuff, can't go wrong with it. Once again, about 60 pound mono litre on it. And at the moment, just a Sicario pink on there. Just another nice flicking rod for Queenies and stuff. Stratic 4000 on a discontinued Lucky Craft rod. I don't know too much about the rod, so if you know anything about them, let me know in the comments. One of my favourite live bait rods for targeting, bigger barra and stuff. Calcutta 400B. About 35 again, once again. Every rod I run is an FG knot with a loop. Once you're like a hook, circle hook, anything, and there's a P sinker on it. So that's pretty much about it for the gear for now. So we'll jump into the lures side of things. So we're going to start off with the Chase Bait Flick Prawns. These colours have been specifically going off lately. Been awesome up the crease. There's your bigger profile ones. Flick Prawns. Amazing idea. They've got such a good prawn where you don't need to buy a jig head with it, for one. Two, you can just whack a treble hook onto the bottom. Sorry about that. Whack a treble hook onto that. So when doing that, it's awesome. Irriganji Mega Prawns, awesome. Being up the creeks. That's about it for the prawn side of things in the Chase Bait. Your Sicarios, once again, they've been awesome. You get a few big dogs on them, just slow rolling them like over the edge. Shane Compain, Panic Station, as you all probably know about it if you live in the NT. Panic Station's pretty awesome. Raptor Lures NT, they make some of the best lures up here, it's not even funny. Fizzers from Raptor Lures, as I've got one on my rod, amazing. Dusk and dawn, speed wind them, slow wind them. As the sun's going down or coming up, just slow wind, and then you just smash them. This is one of my favourite from Bait Junkie, and all different colours, doesn't really matter, but we've been getting a few people I know, and clients at Barra Blue, they've been getting some big ones on them. Awesome. Z-Man paddle tails, usually all around go-to to get. Just, any size is awesome. We don't have too much time, so we are sort of speed running through this. Strata, your bigger profile, small profiles, really good. Any colour, just drop it right down in that watercolour. It's working it. Your jackals and jerk shads and stuff like that. They're usually awesome to be using up in the crease. That's about it for lures. Vibes. Chase Bait Vibes, they're like awesome. Love them. Catch pretty much anything on them. Fish traps. Yellow's been usually been the best so far around here. When using lures, I usually love to go a BKK, Raptor Zs, or VMCs in your 2 to 4 size. That's usually the go-to, and when applying them, got these, the Samaki fine point slip ring pliers. Amazing. They're awesome just for, doing that sort of stuff. Black Magic is been the go-to mono for years now. You know, £30 all the way up to £50. For your bigger profile of barra, I usually go, you know, your bigger, that's it, heavier stuff. One of the best lures out here in NT2 is these drunken mullets from Chase Bait. So you got the junior, and you got the bigger ones. Just smash the barra, you know, them and fizzes from Raptor Lures NT, amazing. So, but yeah, if you want a great experience, come out here, jump on Barra Blue, to the charter, have a chat to Lincoln, and yeah, you won't regret it. It's awesome. You know, it might look a bit expensive, but it's worth the experience. You get some real cool stuff happen while you're out there. But along the front there, and at the moment, we're getting a lot of Queenies, trevally, tuna, mackerel, that sort of stuff. So just, you know, slugs, spoons, whatever you want to call them. You know, been awesome. You know, just throw them out, speed around them. You know, they get demolished out the back there. Just, you know, more different. Yeah, any colour really, they get smashed. Usually silver is the go. When rigging these high profile lures, you know, awesome. You know, they're so stretchy too, these bait junkies. But yeah, best way to usually do them, you just get like a weedless like that. You know, you get your spiral, chuck her in, and then yeah, you know, you're running perfect little thing like that. You know, you skip casting the mangroves, that sort of cool stuff. Otherwise, you know, running BKKs or that sort of stuff. That's about it for the lure side of things. But yeah, so when filming videos, we use I use a GoPro Hero 4K. Great action shots, you know, it's awesome. Great little thing to start off with. When I use line, lead knots and stuff, always go a SG knot. And not many people know about this, but when you got an SG knot, you got this cool tool called Cast. It's a UV light, and it's a line burner. Some of you might go, what the hell's a line burner? So what it is, you get any tagging from like either your FG knot, right? And you slowly put it in there, and it slowly melts the end of it, and it puts a mushroom. So pretend that's the end of your line. It melts a mushroom over the end of the line, and it holds it in tight. So when you get a fish, it doesn't, you know, really slip that well. So anyways, that's just a little tip, you know. Awesome. Recommend getting one, you know. Saved us so much fish, like, you know, from snapping off. When travelling, I love to use the skull caps. They're amazing, heavy duty. You know, you drop them, you know, I trust in my reels, you know, if I drop them or whatever. There's a few more lures I've found here. Shimmers, they've been going off their heads, especially in the white colour and the brownish colour. They've been alright. Yeah, Xeric Flatchers, purple, yellow, and that I couldn't tell you what colour you want to call that. Yeah, they've been awesome. Just, you know, sitting there slow rolling them, and then you just watch that bar come out of force, smashing them. When flicking into tight structure, Z-Man frogs. You're rigging weedless, no weight. Don't know if we have any in here. Yeah, we do have some. So basically, just rigging them like that. You got your little plastic. So you rig them in, and then once your plastic sits like that, you slide that bead up, so it, you know, stops the lure getting mangled. And amazing skip casting. Once again, the Stratic when using that. Yeah, it's amazing. You sit up there walking on the mangrove banks, just skip casting, getting some big dogs in there. But we're also getting a lot of sailfish at Dundee Beach at the moment. But that's not my sort of what do you call, like, the sort of species I go for. So I don't know much about them. All I know is that, you know, if you're getting a few big ones out there, once again, hit up Barra Blue for a sailfish trip, and you won't regret it. So, but yeah, so the wind's starting to slowly die off, even getting smashed with southeasterly winds, so it's been a bit hectic lately. Otherwise, yeah, just mud crabbing. That's also been really good up the creek's edge. You know, most people know how to mud crab. To get some mullet, like fish frames and stuff like that. That's been the go. But we're nearing the end of this. We've also, because we've got mac tuna coming on at the moment, we've been getting a lot of them on the slugs because the clients love fishing like that. So then we keep that as bait and we use them for paternoster. So we get them, right, at paternoster, you tie that, you hook sitting up here, you get a chunk of tuna, throw it there, and we've been getting, once again, out on Barrel Blue, we've been getting some meter 20 was the biggest we got the other day. Jewies, amazing. You know, this great fight. You won't, you know, you love it. You know, I'm little, so I get almost pulled over the side of the boat. They're that big. So, but yeah, no, it's a great fun out up here. So if you get a chance, pop over Barra Blue and jump onto a charter. Won't regret it. But in that case, yep, massive shout out to Raptor Lures NT and Barrel Blue for chase baits, and we'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions that you want me to talk about in the next video, let me know. Have a good one, guys.